Morning. Well, I'm here today to give you a breakdown on the new rates that have been struck from the 1st of July this year. You won't all have seen it yet because the council hasn't released it to everybody directly, but because I work in the industry, I get access to this information straight after the bat. So let's go to discuss sort of a bit of a breakdown. I'm looking at information from one per sort of particular property. And the City of Wyndham's council rates are broken up into four parts. So you've got your initial rates amount called the general DL rates for residential property. Now remember, rates are property levies from the state government. So every property has to pay those for having access to infrastructure and roads and whatever else the council uses your money for. That seems like a fair request. Then the next thing on their certificate is the municipal charge. I had to go and look up the municipal charge as to why that's added on top of your rates, because you're already paying one tax. What's this municipal charge? The explanation of the municipal charge is that it was introduced at the same time the minimum rates were abolished to ensure that all ratepayers contributed an equal amount to council rates, and it's based on your property valuation. So that's not generally a really high amount, so it's on top of the levies to keep the system fair. The next one, which I find really interesting, is the garbage charge, which is about nearly half the rates amount on this bill. And when I asked them to explain that to me, it says the garbage service charge, also known as the service rate, is not capped under the Fair Go rate system in Victoria. Because remember, our council rates are capped, I think, to 3% at the moment, to keep things fair. So the councils can't just charge you whatever through the state government. This means that councils like our council, the City of Wyndham, can set their garbage service charge based on recovery costs for waste management services rather than being limited by the rate cap on your general rates. So that can keep going up to as high as they want it to go to pay for waste management. So that's why you have currently 3 bins going on to 4 bins, because they can use that money to add to the rate amount you pay, and there's no cap on that one, so keep that in mind. And the last thing on the latest rates notice is the Emergency Services Volunteer Fund fee. So I went and did a bit of research on that one to look it up, and according to the State Revenue Office, which explains a breakdown of all of these, because remember, it's a state tax, council's just collecting it. So the old fee for the fire services levy was that you had a fixed fee of $132 for a residential home, and then on top of that was a variable rate of 8.7% based on the capital improved value of your home. And that's how they calculated the amount. Under the new Emergency Services and Volunteers Fund, that has gone up. It is now, for a residential home, $136 is the fixed fee, and then on top of that, the residential variable rate is 17.3 cents per thousand. So the current one I'm looking at, the value is 455,000. You times that by the 17.3 cents per thousand, which is 0.00173, and you come up with an extra amount on top of that fixed rate of 136. So essentially what's happening is you're adding approximately another $80 to $100 and more on top of that fee. So when you get your rates notices, you're going to be paying the extra. It's gone up. It'll probably look like it's doubled by the time you get to it. So this is an explanation of what to expect when you get your rates notice. And then, of course, on top of that, we're having a rally here next week about this levy, and I know the councils have requested many times for this levy to be knocked back. They don't want to collect it because they know they're going to get yelled at once the bills get in. So expect that your rates notices are definitely going to go up because of this tax. And they've stated, the state government says this is needed. It's needed because we have to update our first responders' equipment. That was one of the main reasons why they said they needed it. Not that they're broke and they need more money, but I mean, just stop and think about this for a second. How many millions of dollars our councils already collect? And remember this, in the city of Wyndham, so you have roughly 95,000 homes that pay rates in the city of Wyndham. So have a think about this as to how much extra money, just that simple $80 to $100 extra per home, this rakes in for the state government across over 90 councils in Victoria. It is a lot of money.